Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So Andy Ruiz Jr, who of course defeated Anthony Joshua coming up 2 weeks ago now, has said that a rematch between himself and Anthony Joshua for the unified heavyweight world titles, he would love it to be at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico. Now, this particular stadium holds 87,500, obviously, seats. But obviously, if you're going to put a boxing event on in there, obviously you've got the ring, you've got the football pitch in that as well. So you're talking around 90,000 people. So it's pretty much like Wembley Stadium, but in a hot country, such as Mexico, right? And Andy Ruiz Jr. has said that reason being, first of all, is for Mexico, it creates a bit of history as no heavyweights have ever fought at this particular stadium. Now, this stadium is the home stadium of the national football team of Mexico, and it's also a football club called America. I don't really follow Mexican football, I just follow European football really. But I think that, listen, it's not a bad option, is it? Really isn't a bad option whatsoever. And could they fill it out though? I mean, 87,500, potentially 90,000 with the pitch. Could they sell out 90,000 people? 90,000 Mexicans, and of course a lot of Brits travelling as well. How many Brits would travel? Now that Anthony Joshua has a loss on his record, it's difficult to say, but hopefully a lot will. But my personal opinion on this one, I have no issues with this whatsoever. Of course, previously I was talking about there's a potential for this rematch to be happening here in the UK at Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium, outside of maybe a Wembley or a Cardiff. But of course, Madison Square Garden, where their first fight took place as well, Joshua would like it to be there again to amend the wrong that happened on that night by getting a win in that stadium to almost erase it out of it. Otherwise, he's probably going to feel that that particular place and him travelling to America may haunt him for a long, long time. Who knows? So it's just another option, isn't it? And for me personally, I'm not bothered where the fight happens, to be honest with you. I mean, I would prefer it to be in the UK. I think Joshua is more comfortable at home. Of course, this is from a British perspective, of course, but I have no issues with rematching at Madison Square Garden, nor going to the Estadio Azteca in Mexico. It's a huge, huge stadium. But as we said, can it be filled out? If it was Canelo, maybe. But of course, with Andy Ruiz Jr. now becoming the very first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, how much of a wave is that going to have through Mexico? How many Mexicans are going to come out and come support it? How many Mexicans will see that fight as, well, Joshua was just off, so he'll get him in the rematch? Who knows? Maybe he's got a whole lot of new fans now saying, okay, well, maybe he's the real deal. Maybe he will go on to be the face of boxing. Maybe he's the one who's going to go on to become undisputed. So it's difficult to tell. It's one hell of a risk, that's for sure. But ultimately, listen, Andy Ruiz Jr., he is the champion. But what goes on in the contract is difficult to tell. As far as I can tell about it all, is that it's a definite amount, as in Andy Ruiz Jr. would have already signed for the rematch when he first signed for the fight, knowing that if he beat Joshua, this is what you get in the rematch. There's no way out of it. There's no negotiating with it as well. And the location of the rematch is entirely in Joshua's favour. In other words, Joshua chooses where the rematch will happen. In other words, still no negotiating. But I'm sure that this particular stadium in Mexico may be of some interest to Joshua because, as Andy Ruiz says there, it is history. And Joshua, he does talk a lot about creating history. So why not? Anyway, I mean, the article is in the description box. As always, go get a read for yourself. Come to your own thoughts, of course. Click the thumbs up to this video and, of course, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.